Hi guys. This is going to be all about skin. Um, I know I talk a lot about that I have all these skin problems and treatments and this and that, and it's come to my attention that maybe not everyone knows or understands what some of these problems are, and they are very, very common. Um, it's just in my personal case, for being how common they are, they're very severe for me. So that's why I don't wear makeup on a lot of my videos unless I'm doing like a tutorial video or a test or something like that, because pretty much anything I put on my skin affects it adversely. So I just wanted to do like a little video about, my personal skin story, the problems I have, what they are, and some treatments you can use to fix them. And as always, I welcome any comments, suggestions, or anything like that. So first I'm going to start off with my story. I have had skin problems pretty much my whole life. My KP started, I remember in like 4th grade, so I was probably like 8 or 10 years old. And it started on my arms. And, I would see these little dots and I wouldn't see it on other kids and I wouldn't understand what it was. And I would pick at them because I would think they were like pimples or whiteheads or something of that nature, because that's what they look like. They look like little whiteheads or something. So I would tell my parents, and I don't know if it's because I was so young or if I just wasn't explaining it properly, but I would be like, look, look at what's on my arms, like something's wrong. And my parents would be like, we don't see anything. So I never went to a doctor or anything like that until very recently. About 2 years ago was the first time I actually went to a dermatologist for my problems. So it was just too little, too late. The damage was already done. I've been picking at my skin for forever, which definitely hasn't helped the situation. It has definitely made it worse. But even if I didn't pick at my skin, it would still be a big issue. What I'm talking about is keratosis pilaris, essentially, and I've had the redness on my cheeks as rosacea, which I've had since I was born. And while that's a problem and it's there, it's not anywhere near as bad as the KP is. So, needless to say, I just started going to the doctor for the KP 2 years ago, and they gave me a prescription and stuff. And it works a little bit, but you have to be very diligent. You have to use it every day for the rest of your life. There's no cure for KP or anything like that. There's just treatments, and the treatments do not always work, with every person. It's on an individual basis. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't work. Sometimes what works for me may not work for you, and vice versa. So anyway, the KP was always just on the backs of my arms, which you can see it right now. So it was always like this, until I got pregnant and had my daughter, which was about 2 years ago. I don't know if it was the hormones or something like that, but after I had my daughter, it exploded. And when I mean it exploded, it's all over my body now. It's on my neck, like behind my ears. It's on my chest. It's on my breast. It's on my arms. It's on my sides. It's everywhere. It's the only place it's not really is on my stomach and on my like shins and calves. It's pretty much everywhere else. So it like totally just got completely out of control. And while it can't physically hurt you, it can definitely cause like emotional, trauma or whatever. I don't like wearing short sleeves out. I usually will have like a cardigan or something on, or I'll wear long sleeves. I don't like wearing shorts. I'll either wear like knee shorts or pants, as long as I can. I live in Pennsylvania, so it doesn't get too hot here. So I can usually pull it off, but still, like, I'm the only person in the summertime in freaking a hoodie and long pants walking around in mid-July, you know what I mean? So it's kind of a lose-lose, but that's my story. It's something I struggle with every day, and like I said, that's why you guys don't see me with a whole lot of makeup on all of the time, because I need my face to breathe. The more product I put on the skin, the more it causes it to break out, and the worse it gets. So I only try to wear makeup like if I have an event I'm going to, or if I'm going to work, or you know, if I'm doing a tutorial or something like that. Otherwise, I have no makeup on. So let's get into what is KP. KP is short for Keratosis Pilaris. Its street name is, or more commonly known as, chicken skin, and it's little bumps. Women usually get it on the back of their arms, or on like their lower back or buttocks area, or their thighs. Men tend to get it on their backs or on their chest more. Like I said, I have it all over my entire body. And what keratosis pilaris is it's a buildup of the keratin protein in your skin. And essentially what the keratin does is it clogs your pores. So your hair follicles can't grow out, your dead skin can't shed, things of that nature. So all of that ickiness builds up in your pores, and then your skin grows over it, which causes the raised bumps. You can pick the bumps, obviously I do. It's just like picking at a whitehead or a blackhead, and then it releases the keratin. However, that obviously causes problems such as scarring, infections, redness, you know, just like picking a normal pimple. If you leave it there, it won't hurt you, like I said. It's just not very nice to look at. So that's what keratin is. That's what KP is. It's a buildup of keratin that essentially clogs your pores and your hair follicles, leaving bumps and redness and rashes, things that look like little rashes and stuff like that. There are treatments for it, as I said, although there is no cure. Hopefully in the next couple years or sometime in my lifetime there'll be a cure and I won't have to deal with this anymore. It is very, very common. They say that over half the people in the world have some form of KP, and it is treatable with all sorts of different products, both, you know, things you can just buy over the counter, or you can go to a dermatologist and get a prescription, or they have tons and tons of homemade remedies. Just enter KP on Pinterest and the list will go on and on and on. Whether they all work or not is for you to decide. Alright, with that said, now that you know what KP is and what it does, let's get into some treatments. Like I said, I just went to my doctor 2 years ago, and this is what they have me on. And this is called ammonium lactate. There is a drugstore version of it that you can just buy on the counter. It's called Amlactin, and it would run you about $18 to $20 for a full-size bottle, you know, a bottle that's similar to this size. They do have smaller bottles of Amlactin and travel-size bottles for a cheaper price. And what this is basically like a milk base. It's very thick, like a paste. It's not watery. And you just put this over the area that's infected. You don't need a lot. As you can see, I rub it in and I get white all over me. And you just rub this in, and it's supposed to help with the treatment. It's supposed to minimize the bumps. Like I said, they will never fully go away, but they can be diminished. So that's what that does. And like I said, there's various versions of this. The one thing I will say about this is if you have any kind of open wound, like a cut or a scab or something you picked at, this will sting like a mother for at least a couple seconds when you put it on. And when I mean, like, it really stings. So I don't recommend putting this on some kind of an open wound unless you want a sharp stinging sensation for at least a couple seconds. But it does work. However, you do have to be very diligent with using it. You have to use it every day on a regular basis, or the KP will come back. I will not use that on my face. I feel it's too strong for my face, and although the KP is just now starting to like show its signs on my face isn't really an issue for it unless, you know, I wear a lot of makeup or certain chemicals that are in makeup, which will cause me to break out, which, as you can see, is happening right now. And this is actually from using the Benefit Professional. If you've seen in any of my other videos, I've touched on that already. I don't know what is in the Professional, or maybe it's just how the pore erasers work that clog my pores and make me break out, but I can no longer use them. What I will use on my face or parts of my body that aren't as KP ridden is Eucerin. And it's specifically the Eczema Relief Body Cream. It has oatmeal in it. I think this is maybe $12 or $15 at drugstores, somewhere in that area. And this is also very thick like a paste. It doesn't sting or anything like that. It's dye, steroid, and fragrance free. And like I said, it's dermatologist recommended. Eucerin is a good brand for skin issues. So this is what I use on my face or any other parts of my body that I don't want to use the Enlactin on. In the shower, I use Dove. I've tried a whole lot of products in the shower over the years, and Dove works the best for me. So this is a hypoallergenic body wash. It's specifically made for sensitive skin. They have a whole range of things you can choose from. However, if you have keratosis pilaris or any other kind of breakout problem or sensitive dry skin, I suggest this one. I haven't had any issues with this. I've been using this for probably 6 months now, and it does help. I just lightly exfoliate my skin with this, and that's that. So it is, trial and error. You will try products that may work the first time, or you might go through a whole slew of products and none of them will work. And it can change. Something that maybe worked for you 6 months ago may no longer work for you. I go through that with makeup all the time. I'll find a makeup and it'll work great. It won't cause me to break out or clog my pores really bad. And then a couple months later, I have to throw it away or stop using it because my skin just can't take it anymore. Which is why I'm constantly buying new makeup. But yeah, I just wanted to give you guys an idea of, my skin story, my problems, the struggles I go through, what keratosis pilaris is, the treatments for it, and things of that nature. Like I said, it's very, very common. There's a good chance that half of you looking at this right now have some kind of KP issue. And yeah, that's really all I wanted to touch on with this, and just give you guys a little insight into my skin, how I treat it, and the problems that I have. As always, any questions, comments, or anything like that, you can always post right down below. And if you like seeing what I have to give you every week, you can hit that subscribe button. Alright, love you guys. See you later. Bye.